In the heart of downtown Chicago, on the 78th floor of a towering glass skyscraper that pierced the clouds, a scene unfolded that no one present would ever forget. Victor Langford, one of the city's most ruthless billionaires, stood at the head of a gleaming walnut conference table, his navy suit immaculate, his smile sharp and mocking. He slapped a thick, 300-page acquisition contract onto the polished surface with dramatic flair. Surrounded by high-powered lawyers, stone-faced security guards, and executives clutching their phones like lifelines, he boomed, "If anyone in this room can actually read this beast and spot something, anything, that saves my company from a $50 million disaster, I'll cut you a check for $2 million. Right here. Right now." Laughter rippled through the room, nervous, deferential chuckles from people who knew better than to challenge him. The contract had been dissected by the finest legal teams money could buy, nothing had been found. Then, a quiet voice sliced through the noise from the doorway. "I can read it, sir." Every head swiveled. There stood 12-year-old Noah Carter, skinny frame swallowed by a faded hoodie featuring a cracked Pokemon emblem, scuffed sneakers planted firmly, an old library hardcover clutched against his chest like a shield. Victor's laughter died in his throat. He stared down at the boy, amusement twisting into disbelief. "You. This isn't a comic book, kid." But Noah met his gaze without flinching. "My mom always says if something matters, you try, even when everyone else says it's hopeless." The room held its breath. Victor, caught between irritation and curiosity, shoved the document forward. 10 minutes. Don't embarrass yourself. What happened in those next few minutes would rewrite more than just a business deal, it would touch hearts across the country. If stories like this warm your soul, if they remind you that kindness, courage, and second chances still exist in this fast-moving world, please smash that like button, drop a comment sharing one act of kindness you've witnessed or given, hit share to spread the light, and subscribe to Kindness Light so you never miss a story that proves goodness wins. Your support keeps these tales alive, thank you. Noah Carter grew up on Chicago's South Side in a modest two-bedroom apartment that always smelled faintly of lemon cleaner and hope. His mother, Sarah Carter, was the backbone of their little family. She had arrived in the United States years earlier with little more than determination and faith, taking night shift cleaning jobs in the city's gleaming high-rises so she could be home during the day for Noah. Sarah believed deeply in two things: the grace of God and the magic hidden between the pages of books. Every extra dollar went toward library fines for given or gently used novels from thrift stores. Noah read everything he could get his hands on, adventure tales of underdogs triumphing, stories of inventors who failed 1,000 times before succeeding, biographies of people who rose from nothing. He read slowly and deliberately, tracing lines with his finger, because he understood that knowledge was the one thing no one could take away. When babysitters canceled or money was too tight for after-school programs, Sarah brought Noah to work. He would sit quietly in corners of empty boardrooms, flashlight from his phone illuminating pages while she vacuumed carpets and polished glass. Those nights taught him the secret life of skyscrapers, how they fell silent after hours, how small gestures, like refilling the coffee station or straightening chairs, went unnoticed by day workers but meant dignity to the night crew. Noah watched executives storm out angry, slam phones down, carry invisible burdens. He learned early that money didn't shield people from loneliness or mistakes. On that fateful afternoon, Sarah had been summoned for an emergency cleanup after a marathon negotiation session ran late. Noah came along to help carry supplies. From the hallway, he overheard Victor's challenge. Something stirred inside him, not visions of wealth, but a simple, stubborn urge to help. He had seen Victor before, pacing furiously on calls, face tight with pressure. Sarah's voice echoed in his mind, "The richest folk sometimes hurt the most quietly. A kind hand reaches farther than you know." Without overthinking, Noah stepped into the boardroom. The laughter that greeted him stung, but he pushed forward. Victor slid the contract across with a smirk. Noah sat at the far end of the table, small amid giants in suits. He opened the document and began to read, not skimming like the professionals had, but truly reading, word by word, the way he approached every book. Pages turned slowly. The clock ticked. Executives exchanged glances, amused at first, then impatient. Victor checked his watch repeatedly, foot tapping. Then Noah paused. His finger rested on a clause near the end, buried in a section labeled Contingent Environmental Representations and Warranties. He reread it. Cross-checked the attached disclosure schedule. Then a third time. His heart pounded, not from fear, but from the quiet thrill of discovery. He looked up, voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. Victor leaned forward. Noah explained, the clause required the seller to disclose any pending environmental regulatory claims within 30 days prior to closing. But the timestamp on the attached compliance certificate was dated 42 days after that window. The disclosure was late, fatally late. If challenged, the entire acquisition could be voided for material misrepresentation, opening the door to massive lawsuits and the deal collapsing. Silence blanketed the room. Victor snatched the pages, eyes scanning frantically. Lawyers crowded around, whispering urgently into phones. One senior partner finally spoke, voice hushed, he's correct. The timestamp mismatch invalidates the warranty. We all